G'day, and you're listening to, I should actually probably do a Stuart on G'day, and today you're listening to Let's Drone Out. We haven't got Stuart on the show, but we have got someone new and exciting and a good old faithful regular. We'll start with the old faithful regulars, Tony.
What's up, people?
Oh,
hello.
Have you back? And actually this week we have been planning an initiation of Clinton, but what we're going to do is throw it open to the chat room to see what he's got to do for his first show, because he's now a full-time regular, because the usual NJ is away playing guitar somewhere on stage probably right now. Welcome, Ectraz, aka Clinton.
Everybody. So,
I mean, you have been on a few times before, haven't you? And you have
quite a few times now.
Yeah.
It must be a mountain now. It must be at least, what, 3 or 4 times? So getting used to it.
Yeah, well, we don't like to just throw you in the deep end usually, but this week we've got some exciting news of FAA restrictions against Casey Neistat and some other things of DJI chucking out their massive factory, but we'll get to that in a moment. But firstly, Clinton, we've never really heard from you much to regards to what you've been doing, where you came from, what you do, and so maybe give us a little introduction. Tell us all about your life story, because we've been reading your emails, so we already know all about you.
My life story, well, started with my mum and dad. They both got a little overexcited one night, and I'm guessing you don't want to go that far back, no?
No, not that far back, thanks.
Maybe.
So I started flying just over a year ago, and yeah, just loving it really. Just being part of the community, chatting to everybody, talking to everybody. Everybody's amazing. Love Let's Drone Out since it started. Lots of tips and useful stuff, and here I am. You know, feel quite proud to be here.
See, I mean, we started coming up 2 years ago now. Actually, I didn't think it actually last that long, but it has been.
It's amazing.
Have you been flying 2 years, Clinton?
No, not been flying 2 years. About a year and a bit, I think. So I started off the mini air show last year.
Wow.
So 2016, yeah. So just over a year.
Actually, and to be honest, I've seen some of your videos, and if you want to see his videos, go to youtube.com/Ectraz. That's ECTRAZ. And you'll see how much he's flying. You're actually quite a good pilot, but probably because you're not afraid to splash things into water, crash them into trees, smash them on the ground upside down. I mean, all sorts of things you put your little poor quads through.
Well, if you're not going to break it properly, then well, you know, you're not flying properly, right?
Well, there is that old adage, isn't there? If you're not crashing, you're not flying hard enough. Well, I think you're flying hard enough, that's for sure. So what have you been flying lately? I think you did venture into a chameleon world, but you've gone back to your old faithfuls.
Yeah, so where am I at the moment? I've got my Fossil FSG X210. I've got my chameleon, which I've had enough of already. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good frame. It just doesn't fit my purpose. And then, yeah, my love and heart goes out to my Fossil. And bless him, Mitch, who's in the chat, I think, somewhere, he gave me, which is laying about somewhere, he gave me a brand new QX95 yesterday, so I'm back into the micro world as well. So
I think is that something planned for this weekend by any chance?
Yeah, no, originally it was, but so is it Comic-Con? So we're doing some flying at Comic-Con tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, I've been flying the micro around the house for the past 2 or 3 days, and yeah, I forgot how much I loved it. It's that ease of just being able to pick it up and fly it without thinking. So
yeah, you know, I mean, I always found over the winter months my micro's got all the action, but in the summer months it's light till 10 o'clock, so I can fly elsewhere. But I do miss the little micros, and I know NJ, who's not here this week, is a massive fan of the 130 size. But the QX95 are amazing flyers, actually. So
yeah, I think when I first started with the micros about 6 months ago, I don't think they were really sort of pulling their weight as such. They were a bit sort of sluggish and wobbly. But with the new Betaflight, yeah, they've come a long way. It was really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. So,
have you got a micro flyer, Tony?
I've just bought Dan Upton quad. You know, he designs his own frames and stuff. I've just got a nice X-frame off him. I'll be picking it up tomorrow. I think Jack's bringing it up because I'm off to Comic-Con 2, doing a bit of micro flying up there for tomorrow and maybe Saturday.
One recommendation, I don't know, you're not really supposed to do it, but there is a big car park that is uber cool, but it does break small micros, and I actually destroyed 2 in the car park nearby there.
No.
I didn't advocate that. Don't do that. According to me, just do it if you're on your own back. But that's the beauty of micro flies. You could probably get away with a lot more flying. These still covered by the same rules, but hey, yeah. Oh, well, that sounds really exciting. So, have you flown any planes or anything before, Clinton? Because I know a lot of people are getting into planes these days.
See, the problem I had when I first started. I didn't know about FPV, and the first, well, I was going to say quad, but the first thing I built was an octocopter with 11.5-inch blades. So I threw myself in the deep end, that was for sure. So yeah, and I couldn't really fly it very well. Didn't really know what I was doing, and yeah, crashed it, destroyed it, and then found out about FPV, and here I am.
And actually, Hidden Valley, I think that's where I first met you on your birthday, and it's actually been great to fly with you ever since. So.
I appreciate it. You know, I'm enjoying it. So many decent people, and so many people in this community that just want to help and friendly. Gav or Gary, first person to ever get me flying acro mode. So yeah, I've got some really soft support with Tony and Ed as well. First people I ever met before I'd even built a quad, and they were fantastic. I remember Ed offering me a cup of tea. I was like, wow, what, you know, literally that moment was just, I love this community. It was great. I remember coming home with a big smile on my face and talking to Julie like, wow, they're brilliant.
It looks like you've still got that same smile on your face today. Has it ever wiped off?
Always got a smile on my face. No, I don't know what it is about Ed, but he has this, there's something about him that just even thinking about it makes you happy. I remember taking one of my mates up to Hidden Valley, and he hadn't even got his goggles yet, and Ed was just like, you know, I think I've got a spare pair of goggles in the car. And he just come out and gave them to me. Like, what? You know, it's amazing, just incredible.
Actually, Tony, what have you been flying these days? Because I know you've been going through, I don't know how many different flight controllers. Like the Dodo's even flying again, isn't it? Even though it's a flightless bird that was dead.
Well, shall I show you what it's like? 2 seconds. It's just here.
Oh, this is exciting. Here we go. That was literally 2 seconds.
I've been flying race flight for ages, and I just went back to my 210 with me Dodo in, and it felt so fast and just, I don't know, it felt really good. But as you can see, got motors dangling around and stuff. I blew an ESC, a little B, when I crashed. I don't know how. And then I put it all back together, rewired it, and it was fine. Programmed the ESCs and everything, and it was really good. And then plugged it in to check all the FPV camera, and burnt another ESC just by plugging it in.
Was that? Do you think it was from the motor? I mean,
sorry.
Did you fry it from the motor? Is the motor knackered, or?
I'm not sure. It's a new motor, so it's like the new. It's all 3 of them are like 2 years old and still going strong, but this one's a brand new one. It could be. I've yet to figure that out. I've just bought some SpeedX ESC motors, ESCs for, I think they're like £6 each.
I love the SpeedX, but
they're really small.
Yeah.
So they should fit in the arse of the 210 quite nicely.
Is that the 20 amp version?
Yeah, 20 with a burst of 30 for 10 seconds, which is all you really need, I think.
You know, the funny thing is, like, in the last couple of weeks, I've seen so many people posting saying, has anyone got any little B 20 amp, like, and V1s and stuff? I reckon if you've got a horde of them somewhere, they're going to be worth more than gold in about a few months.
As people are mine up.
Move on. Just like you, Tony, you have always been reluctant to move on from the little Bs. They are the favourites, literally.
I'm flying F40 Pros now.
And they're still running on the little Bs, no problems.
What?
No, F40 ESCs, sorry.
I was going to say, I thought you were running F40 motors on a little B20.
That'd be painful. I think I've got the F60 Pros on my Chameleon, and I can't imagine what 20 amp ESCs would say to them. I think they'd come down a bit warm.
Well, we've done a test though. We ran, I've probably said this before, we ran 5S on a mounted, on a mount with a 2300 kV Emax motor. We run it for 1 minute on a 20 amp Little B, and was just doing that, woo, 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 and left it 5S 1 minute, and the Little B was fine.
It's good when you get decent ESCs that are forgiving.
But when you're saying that they were rated to like 30 amp anyway as burst, or even 35 on your 20 amp.
The Little Bs are underrated. I think you can. They're like 37, I think. And the burst, we had it full whack for 1 minute on a 5S. I mean, I fly 5S. Any of my 5S videos, my 5S punch outs, they're just on the Little Bs still.
Wow.
Still something.
I'd like to. I mean, so it's comparable size because I haven't seen the Speedix 20 amp. I'm running 30 amp on mine because I just wanted that safety net. But I mean, are they similar size to the Little Bs?
They're smaller. They're actually smaller. I'm just seeing if they're in here. I don't know where I've put them. See, I've got a 180 here I need to sort out as well. This has got an F4 flight control in, but I can't get it into DFU mode to reprogram it. So got to wait for Bradders or Jack on that one.
Yeah, speaking of Jack, I mean, last week's show we had a comment left. Dale Kennedy, I believe, is missing Jack and pining for Jack and whining away. I'm sorry if you listen to this or you're going to catch this again, Dale. He's not coming back for the time being because he doesn't love us. He doesn't love the show at the moment, but he will be back, I'm sure, for a guest appearance at some point. So you're stuck with us. And actually, we've got Ectraz now anyway, so he's the new Jack.
taking over Jack's spot.
But we've got, as you know, it's amazing to see everyone joined in for the week, and we've got everyone: Stuart Bailey, Bloodstriker, Clegger. I can't keep up with all the shout outs. It's a good little chat.
There's loads of them in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sloth FPV.
What's wrong with you all? We just do this, and no, we actually appreciate you tuning in.
It's hard.
We do. It's very nice.
Through comments.
Amateur podcast radio every week on Thursday, 8 p.m.
So tell everyone you can catch where they can catch us on Catch Up.
Well, on YouTube, but we do need to get a massive whip out or fire drones at our editor because we have got behind on a couple of episodes, but on iTunes and on SoundCloud as well. We do need to actually get that underway because I know a lot of people don't actually get to tune in and do want to listen later on. So if anyone has some editing skills to be able to take out swearing, such as stuff like, well, I want to
swear.
No, don't make it bad for people, Joe.
We might even pay you. Yes, we might even front some hard-earned cash out of our own pockets to give you some if you're going to edit for us. But yeah.
It would be good.
So I mean,
editor.
I have had the misfortune and the fortune of testing warranty claims for Armatang quads, and I must say, I'm impressed. After dismantling my Chameleon after breaking it, I mean, I think it's been fractured for quite some time. Before Mini Air Show, I actually bought a new base plate to put on my Chameleon, which I love. But I did eventually smash it into a few too many trees, hit the ground and tumble and cartwheel, and to the point that one of the arms was flopping off and would actually wave to me when I took off. So I took apart my quad thinking I could just take a picture of the base plate, but no, you actually have to take a picture of the whole complete quad. However, I sent an email. Hours later, they sent me a code. I just paid postage, which worked out to £3.99, and I'm getting a new base plate and new rear antenna mount. So kudos to Armatan for doing that.
Pretty cool.
Any ideas on the actual time it takes, the whole process from start to finish to get the parts?
Well, I guess it's international post, so there is a tracking number. I haven't actually bothered tracking it. It's probably going to be a week or maybe 2 weeks. I know some of the things get shipped from China and they can be slightly delayed. But, you know, I guess in the past, I've always bought frames and had to buy another frame to actually repair the existing frame. And it's one of those things that I never thought I'd truly see a bumper-to-bumper warranty on a quad. And now I've had the chance to test it out. I'm quite impressed. So, but... Yeah. Not everyone's impressed with their Armatan quads, are they, Clinton?
Oh yeah, I love mine.
No, you don't. You hate it. Come on, you've already posted up.
Why do you not like it? And what is that big quad behind you?
Oh, this thing. Right, this is. So when I first started, I built a hexacopter, And then what I did is I took the an octocopter, and then I took the motor.
A new gate or something?
Sorry?
Micros. Is that a gate for micros?
So this was a H frame, and yeah, I used to have big motors and 11-inch props on it. And yeah, it lasted all of 2 or 3 days maybe. And what happened was I was flying it in angle mode, and then I found horizon mode, and then I found out I could do backflips and left and right flips. And yeah, I only had 1 battery, so I took it out, did a backflip. I got all excited, come home, charged my battery up, went out to do another backflip, and I forgot to turn the accelerator off while it was upside down. So it yeah, plummeted into the ground upside down with the throttle at max. So it's had
the lawn then.
Sorry?
Mowed the lawn then.
Mowed the lawn. I think it left a crater in it.
More like it dug a hole.
Yeah, so I was very, very inexperienced. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know about FPV at this point. So yeah, but it was a good starting point, kind of.
Well, I suppose everyone has to learn somewhere, and I mean, I'm thinking about dismantling my larger QAV 500 or the 540, just so, because let's face it, I guess the bigger ones we don't fly as much anymore, and FPV, they've come a long way for redundant for the other aerial, photography platforms that exist these days that are out there.
Problem is,
let's turn them into the 100mm, the big quads that everyone's doing at the moment, like Zoe FPV and the 150mm. You could turn that one in. I'll get my hexacopter out of the loft, and I'll take the gimbal off, and then put a race flight in it, and I'll have a hex racer. You can have the H frame. Joe, you can have your big QAV. Let's have a big race with massive gates and big.
Yeah, minimum size prop of 9 inches, something. A minimum 10 inch.
That's a quad you're not going to want to get in front of, though, Tony.
No, I'll definitely have to try ducking.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That is not a bad idea. I might actually, I might actually see what we can do. The trouble is the QAV is a very heavy beast. I mean, it's probably like a couple of kilos as it is thereabouts.
Problem is, if you start going up to that scale, everything will start getting very expensive. So motors, instead of being 10, 15 pounds, are going to start costing 20.
Hold on. No, Tony's already got his motors on there. I've already got motors on my. In fact, they're T-motor pancakes. So you'll just have to buy motors, I'm afraid.
Another one I've got actually, which Carlos gave me last year, is this thing, which I keep meaning to do something. He got it for my birthday last year, and what I was going to do is buy some of the Race Star motors and the Race Star ESCs, and just sort of see what it does, really. Keep it maybe 5s, maybe
actually. Yeah, the 2306 or something. I mean, they're so cheap. You'd have 2 spare as well if you bought 2 sets. That's £60.
Looks like I might not be making it. I think Andrew is working on space to buy it, so I might not be taking it apart after all.
Well, he might want the upgraded race flight version of the hexacopter. You never know.
He might do. I think it'd be great. Great.
On that note, though, does race flight support hexacopters and octocopters?
Pass. Don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it does.
I'm not sure. I've been watching stuff on the Spark, and I really like it. The DJI Spark. Have any of you guys seen?
So before, okay, come on. Is Jack listening? Because if Jack's listening, we can't really discuss this.
I don't care about that great oath. Carry on.
Okay, so this week they did announce yet another tiny little quad. It's half the price of a Phantom, half the price of a Mavic, pretty much. And what do you know about it, Tony? Come on, what are you going to sell it? Because you own DJI products, I do.
I think it's really cool. I'm going to buy it without the controller and everything. I just want the hand gestures, the fly up, take a photo of yourself, do that, takes a picture of you, comes back, you hold your hand out, and it lands in your hand.
Do you think if you did that, it would take a picture?
I mean, know.
What sort of...
That might. Apparently, if you wave like that, it comes back and lands on your hand and stuff. It looks really good. It weighs 300 grams. It's the same size of, or it's just a bit bigger than a phone. It's like sort of size of a can of Coke.
I'll give one thing for the DJI. Their little marketing ad video where they just have people looking at it, and then it's flying through all these great places with a couple of beats in the background. That does actually sell that little thing, but it is only a 2-axis gimbal, isn't it?
It is, but it does look good, and I think they've got some kind of electronic stabilization on it as well. But imagine just being on holiday and you don't want to take your racing drone, you don't want to take your massive Phantom, but you can take this can of Coke sized drone out of your pocket. You don't need a phone, you don't need a controller. You can just hold it in the air. You turn it on and hold it to your face. It finds your face and then turns on and then starts hovering. You hold your hand gesture out, send it away. You got a beautiful backdrop. You do that, takes a photo and comes down and lands.
It finds your face and starts hovering.
That sounds like that
I know it is a bit scary, but
it finds your face and chases you down the street. You're running away screaming.
But yeah, it has got it's got follow me and all that lot on it. Active tracking. It can do bits where it does droney, where it will fly backwards and pan away and do a 15-second video. It records in 1080p at 30 frames a second. It's pretty good for the price, and I think it's just a great little gadget to have. You know, if you're on holiday and you don't want to take your racing drones and your Phantoms and stuff.
I'll say one thing: if anyone who's had that logical progression from bigger aircraft and flight controllers over the years to get to something that's a smaller, let's say a selfie drone, at least they're probably going to do it properly, unlike all these other startups like Lily that fall flat on their face or on their top. To be a worthy contender in that market that nobody's really entered yet. So I can see exactly why they want to do it.
It does look really good. I've watched other YouTubers who've got given it. I've watched them use it and then hold out their hand, and it sees your hand because it's got forward-facing sensors, downward-facing sensors, and it senses your hands there and then comes and just lands straight in your hand. I just think it's a cool little product for, I think it's 520 quid.
Yeah, £519. Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool and pretty nifty and stuff, but it'd be interesting. It does sound like it could be a bit disastrous if it starts making mistakes.
I've never seen a DJI drone make a mistake. It's always been user error. How I think that's what I think.
Okay. Most of the time it is user error. I'd grant you that. And I think it's less of an issue nowadays when people aren't installing their flight controller in something and building it, you know, putting everything right next to the flight controller. There's a lot less problems to come up, but be interested to see. In fact, anyone from DJI, if you're listening right now, we would love to try one out, send one over, and we'll put it through its paces.
Yes, please. It's got both the GPS modules in it, you know, the Russian one and the American one. So it uses
the GLONASS, the GLOS.
Yes, so you know it can lock on to 20, 30, or 20. What's it? 25 at the most. I don't know what it'd be like in the wind or not, but imagine it on a lovely night like tonight. I mean, I was walking up the road the other day and there was a beautiful sunset, and it was all above the trees, and I thought, I just had a drone in my pocket and you could just go on, fly up and take a nice photo, and it could. This is why I think I might get it. And it
does do 50 kilometers an hour, so that's pretty reasonable speed.
What's that in real money, Jay?
About 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. So reasonable. I don't know what the Mavic does actually, but well, I've never actually had a Mavic. I've never looked at the stats, but I think it's comparable to a Phantom 4, isn't it? They just don't handle wind. And yet a small race drone can handle wind quite well, so there's no reason why this small little Spark shouldn't be able to.
Flight time.
But it's just typical of DJI doing the whole massive Dragnet. We'll get the massive Matrice out, we'll get the Inspires out, Phantoms, all the way down to the middle ones, and even the racing drones, Tachyon ESCs and snail motors and stuff. So they're trying to capture all the market. Before long, you won't be able to buy anything other than DJI. So
the only thing I don't like about it is they're forcing an update soon, where you will have to sign in to use it. So, and you'll have to accept their terms and conditions, which means they can actually take your video footage, which goes to the cloud, and use it for anything they want.
Yeah, but
And they
that's
can cut you
good
off as
and
well.
bad, isn't it? I mean, there's a divide on this, because one thing, people flying it over streets and that, they at least know that who that was registered to. There's a little bit more accountability of it, rather than people thinking, oh, I've got this great drone, I can fly it anywhere. And that's, I think, even more so now with the Spark, where at a festival, do you really want something?
That's like geared to fly in the street. I mean, their adverts and stuff, what I've seen, it's just like, oh, I can just do it anywhere. It's so light, it's not going to hurt anyone. You know, it has got spinning blades. I think they're selling it with prop guards and stuff as well. I mean, it's still going to hurt if it does hit you in the eye and stuff. But the way they advertise it is like, oh, you can do this anywhere, which you probably can't.
No. Well, actually, and one famous YouTuber has finally come unstuck. I don't think the FAA has commented yet, but Casey Neistat, who has probably sold more drones for DJI than anyone else and any other marketing campaign, is finally being looked at. According to DroneOn.co, the FAA is investigating his antics, should we say, and there's even flyaway videos he's had. He's basically put drones in the face of people. And
he has been an idiot, hasn't he? Like flying through New York and stuff. It's like totally off limits, especially after 9/11, and then he just didn't care. And then they still give him a spark, because I watched his one with him, and I was like, he's under investigation, and they've still sent him a mini, you know, DJI have still sent him a drone. So,
but
whatever.
Then that is you know, bad publicity is not a bad thing, is it, for DJI? So,
well,
like
publicity is publicity, isn't it? So they're probably not too bothered. But
what's your take on it then, Ectraz? What do you think of the whole Casey Neistat thing, flying in city centres or anything like that?
It's a really hard one, because part of you wants people to be able to fly their drones how they want to fly their drones and everything. But on the same side of things, you know, there has to be regulations, there has to be rules. Otherwise, it would just be mayhem. You know, if I could, I would go and fly my quad outside in the front garden and around the roads and everything, because it's nice and easy. I've just got to go sit out the front. But I don't, because of the rules and regulations. And if they weren't there, then I would be putting my neighbours at risk. So yeah, we all have to follow the rules. We all have to follow the regulations.
This is it, isn't it? Like, I guess you can't say that one rule fits all, because I've seen some amazing tiny whoop footage flying around concert, people actually on stage around a concert, flying over the crowds, and it looks quite spectacular. And what's the worst it's going to do if it's got prop guards on it? Probably get tangled in someone's hair. That's probably the worst.
You know, I've done that a few times to Julie with the QX. She wasn't happy. She's had to cut it out once. So,
have you seen
cut her hair out or cut the quad off?
The drone got caught up and it wrapped up in her hair, and we literally had to cut it out. So she was not.
Okay. It pains me to say, but I've flown a hub cell into my own hair, which isn't exactly short, and got it tangled. It does happen.
That's funny. Have you
Thanks,
got
Tony.
video footage of that?
At least I have some hair to fly it into.
Yes, mine disappeared. Have you seen the Tiny Whoop video where they fly up in? I think he's in Paris in night. I think it's Jesse Whoop, the guy who's he's going to Comic-Con tomorrow and Saturday. You know, the founder of Tiny Whoops. I think it was him who flew in New York and stuff, and then he flew at night in Paris, and he flew up to a clock tower and was going around the back of the hands. It's such a good video.
Some of those and the mods that they've done.
Sorry, Clinton?
I was just saying some of the mods that are available for the Tiny Whoops, and then some of the motors and the batteries and stuff is just incredible. I've seen some of those things flying like real quads, probably doing sort of 60 miles an hour.
Well, like the Baby Hawk and all those have got a recent surge in popularity for that, haven't they? The most recent video I saw of the Tiny Whoop, where they're flying at a coffee house or something. Gates, that is immense. That is really good. And actually, they did show someone having one stuck in their hair, but yeah. So to get back to my point, I guess flying a small micro-sized in a street and things like that is not really the same as flying a Spark, DJI Spark. Let's use that as a, or any of the race quads or anything like that. And so one size does not fit all.
It's a shame they didn't make it just under the regulations, the USA, because I think it's 200. Anything over 250 grams, you've got to register, haven't you? Your drone
no, I don't believe so. I believe they're chucking that whole ruling out now.
They stopped that. Oh yeah, because of the court case. What's just happened?
Yeah, so basically they told you weren't actually able to do that, and so I don't know if it's taken effect or if it's due to take effect, but the FAA will not require to register for hobbyist drones. Commercially flying drones under their 107 will require to be registered, but not for the hobbyist side of things. I wonder if it's just because it had too many registrations. They thought this is a logistical nightmare. What on earth are we doing? How do we stop this? I know we'll just say that we weren't allowed to do it because I mean there must be millions that would have got registered.
Quite a few.
Yeah. I mean,
So.
Massively growing thing, isn't it? Everywhere, all over the world, everybody is buying drones. Everybody is doing drones, and even with the new DJI, the DJI Spark, it's just going to carry on growing and improving the range of drones and who's using them. Because anybody can.
Does everybody include your mother?
Well, yeah, but why wouldn't she? Why couldn't she get one of those Sparks if she wanted to go to the beach and do some filming?
Well, that's true. Not having to work on. Yeah, and having the hand gestures.
It's opening the market up for other people, isn't it? So,
well, I think it's the accessibility now, and they are becoming much more accessible because you don't have to learn the controls to even fly it. You just say fly. Here you go. Yeah.
Too easy.
So
let's get into it.
Clinton, you've got another nickname, haven't you? Actually, other than Ectraz and other than whatever, and I'm calling you Clinton for the sake of it. Your other name is
Crasher?
Conformal Coating Clinton, I believe.
Oh, I called him Crasher. Sorry, Clint.
Well, that's another one. I mean, Crasher Clint. Captain Conformal Clint.
I've definitely destroyed a few quads in my time, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Right. So. I think weren't we going to do some live conformal coating to see if it actually worked, and you were going to dip it in water thereafter?
Is it going that far? Is it?
What else is the reason to coat it in all this stuff then?
Say it that way. I did have. I was going to say
Wally Brain. Sorry, you're also known as Wally Brain, apparently. Do you know James?
I haven't spoken to that guy in. I haven't spoken to that guy in a couple of years. Actually, I'm surprised he's here. So we practically grew up together. There we go. There you go. Shout out, James Govan. Happy now? Yeah, I was going to say I was going to say a bit of an accident, but it wasn't. I crashed the FSGX 210 into a puddle, a large puddle, hoping that the conformal coating would work. And yeah, the quad died there soon after, which I was very disappointed with. But after I got it home and gave it about 20 minutes, half hour of just sitting out open, it all worked again. Everything was fine. ESCs, VTX, cameras, everything. And the quad was drenched. It was submerged.
So did you miss a bit, or did it just not work?
So what it was is Gigawatts in the channel. He had a spare PDB that he sort of permanently loaned me, which was one of the ones with the minimum OSDs on it, and it's got a USB on the side, and everything was coated except the USB. So I think just a spot of water got in the USB port and just stopped it from powering on. So it was just the PDB, and as soon as that water was gone, it was back on working, no problems whatsoever. So that conformal coating, yeah, it has my seal of approval. That stuff is amazing.
But you definitely need to seal it.
You definitely need to seal it. So we need some little
caps
like
or something. You used to see if you've coated everything.
You can see it on there anyway. Like if you hold it under a light, you can see like a glowing, a shiny sort of blue surface. It just looks like if you put nail polish on your finger or something. So it's quite easy to tell. But yeah, I mean, To be fair, I don't know why they don't just do electronics anyway. How hard would it be to make a PDB or a flight controller and just dip it and then sell it?
I mean, okay, for things like your contact points, you have to like either some of it you can burn through, can't you, with the soldering iron, but not all of it, and therefore it's going to be harder to solder to. And also things like your port for USB, it does actually have a minute level of thickness, so you may not get the same contacts. But one suggestion for the actual USB ports is to make a little plug, just to plug into there.
Yeah, no, that would be perfect. If we get a little plug for the USB or something, that would be.
We'll get
Can
one
we do
branded
this
LD
next weekend?
millions.
Sorry, can we do this next Thursday? Can we do a live on air? Clinton dips his motors in some water.
I will.
Well, okay.
Well,
Why don't we do the live
it's running.
conformal coating tonight? We'll do it now because we had actually thought about doing this. We'll do the live conformal coating tonight, and then next week after he doesn't need it as much, we will do a live dipping of Clinton, like in sheep dip, and then we'll dip the quad in the.
Well, that's a good initiation, isn't it?
Yeah, in fact, I have missed. If anyone else has posted other initiation things that they want Clinton to do, we'll make him do it this week and next, and forevermore.
Live on air. Get Clinton to do something stupid. Just post in the chat.
Is it an idiot abroad? It kind of will just steal their idea and make a Clinton at home. I won't call you an idiot. You're not an idiot, Clinton. But you know, I guess this live conformal coating, all sorts of things. He's rubbing his hands with glee, looking. I can see. You're gonna do it.
I've watched Flight Test do some coating with was it Peter, who was on there, but probably about a year ago now, and he done it and put it under a tank of water and ran the ESC and the motor, and it was running underwater. So that is the challenge, Clint, for next Thursday.
Yeah, see, my question here, my debate here is brushless versus brushed motors. So what would because obviously brushless motors will run underwater. Is it the same?
But brushed won't.
That's my worry. So would
By the way, we've got a suggestion for an initiation. We're going to conformal coat you, Clinton.
Let's see if he's waterproof. If we'd done the whole of him, he'd actually die like the woman in Bond when they painted a.
Oh wait! It's funny you should say that. I watched the MythBusters episode on that, and they said that it was a myth.
No, but actually, when you do cover all the sweat pores and all the actual skin, you do run a risk of killing someone. It is a known fact. They did even cover that on MythBusters. Crazy. They did monitor they monitored everything, and it is a dangerous thing to do. So let's just conformal coat your face.
You have to be so
then you'll never get sweaty. You know when you get a sweat build up and you put your goggles on and they all mist up. You won't have that ever again. At least you can try this.
It'd be nice to have a waterproof frame because I think it's going to rain Sunday and Monday because it's bank holiday after all.
So this is what I'm hoping is that the quad is waterproof enough, and that I can keep it because I took Gary's advice and he said to cut a potato in half and rub it on the camera, and the water will run down it, but that didn't work at all.
He was fucking pulling your leg, wasn't he?
I think he might have been. It didn't work.
A potato. I'm going to take a potato tomorrow and rub it all over his van window, the idiot.
Make sure it's a high starch content to leave the smears.
Yeah, nice potatoes.
King Edward all over his van.
You know what would be a better idea? This is, we're kind of going to go back to our childhood here. Make a potato stamp, cover it in paint, and start like wiping it all over his windscreen. Maybe you could leave your logo or something.
You could just carve Gary into the potato and just keep stamping it on his window. So when it dries,
so have you got everything to hand to start showing us at least the demonstration of it? Because here's one we prepared earlier in true pre-pizza style.
Okay, if you want, I'll strip the quad down, and it does need conformal coating anyway. So I'll move the camera, and we'll conformal coat. You
are going to be in a dry place at Comic-Con, and it's a shame I can't make it, but it is dry in there. There's no water hazards,
I'm glad you're not coming, Jay.
I know. It's just needs must. But Should be good fun. I actually saw the titling and stuff that Gav, or you like to call him Gary, did on that, and it's impressive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good laugh. So I'm going to live stream from the show. Actually, let's do a time. I'm going to live stream from my YouTube channel at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Comic-Con. So look
1
out for that. 1 o'clock.
If you
1 p.m.
Because it is on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm going to do it tomorrow from 1. And I'll do a live stream. So if you want to watch, tune in. Here we go.
Yeah. There we go. Can you see my? Can you see the little QX95? Don't know what the camera.
We can. This is yours, isn't it? This is yours.
Yeah. So Mitch, who's in the chat, I fixed his Tyrannus a few times. He keeps breaking the USB port off it, and for fixing it, he kindly donated me a.
How do you keep on breaking the USB port off?
He's been playing a simulator and keeps dropping it, I think.
Oh, okay, right.
Bless him. But yeah, no. So he kindly donated me a QX95. So it's really nice of him. I know he's in there somewhere.
Here we go. The props are coming off.
If only it was that easy to take props off and put them back on.
We wanted to talk about each step that you're doing right now as well. Like I'm removing the props.
Removing the props, removing the screws. How much detail do you
live on air? I don't think this has ever been done before. Live conformal coating.
Live conformal coating.
So you haven't noticed any adverse effects from doing this, heat distribution, anything like that?
None at all. Yeah, I mean it was fine. My X5 has had about 15-20 batteries through it, and it was fine, no problems. So yeah, it's been good as gold. I don't know.
Do we know how long it lasts? Like, has it got a lifetime warranty? Will it wear out? Will it, if it rains on it twice, will it stop working?
It's basically a silicon coating, so I suppose it's going to last as long as the quad does. It's like rubber. I mean, you can see the water. You can see the water sort of bouncing off the top of it. So, right. So we're down to the board. So I'm going to unplug the motors. And hopefully, because these are just
so easy, isn't it? I mean, who would have thought? This is, by the way, this is going to be the quad flying tomorrow, I do believe, and
we hope it'll be flying tomorrow after this.
Yeah, back it up.
After this, we're doing these tests so you don't have to. Yeah, well, Clinton is anyway.
I suppose I should do the camera as well. So I don't want to strip all this down just because it's thing. But here we go. So we've got the PDB out. Camera's a bit blurry. And then, yeah. So the main thing, from what I've heard, the main thing is just to focus on the actual main components and headers. I always like to give them a quick brush off with a toothbrush. Nice.
Wow, this is expert tip. You don't get this anywhere else.
Laura's just joined the chat. She said she missed the link and didn't see our but the bell didn't go off. So we need to do a 2-hour show apparently.
We need to restart.
Okay, hold on. If that's the case, Laura, can you please order food to 3 separate addresses?
Yeah. And can someone go and get me my wine? From
yeah, actually, someone did actually ask what wine you had tonight. I haven't got any booze here.
I'm drinking beer.
Any
beer tonight.
Coca-Cola.
Ah, it looked like red wine in your wine glass, Clinton.
It does look like red wine, but it is just.
I thought it was wine.
And now Clinton's going to paint his nails.
Oh yeah. The stuff smells good. So I like to. The easiest way I found is just to get a big glump of it and just sort of start piling it in the middle.
Just tip it on.
Yeah, we could.
It does actually look like nail varnish, doesn't it?
It looks exactly like nail varnish.
That's all it is. Does it smell like nail varnish?
It smells like nail varnish as well. Yeah. And then the
it
key
probably just is. Then we're all getting rubbed off.
Everyone's been spending £15-20 for a small little bottle when they could go down to the local market.
Man, it's just some clear coat nail varnish from Avon lady. She come round in a minute.
Hold on, I think Clinton is the Avon representative in that area. Mitch, is that right?
Oh no! So have I turned into the new Tony? So now everybody's going at me.
Well, for the first show at least, yeah. Tony's moved up in the world.
He's moved up.
Jack's retired. Tony's moved up. Yeah.
So yeah, the idea with this is just to make sure that you cover all the chips, all the components, make sure everything's coated as much as possible, and just spread it all out. I try to get it around the back of the USB port, around the back of the connectors.
James Govern says it also tastes like nail varnish. I do not want to know how he knows. I don't think it's fit for human consumption, and not even fit for human consumption like bath salts that people sometimes consume.
There we go. So that's the top half done. From my experience, it takes about 10 minutes to dry, but for speed, I'm going to turn it over. I don't know if you can see this.
So I have a question for everyone in the chat room. I have seen numerous people licking their GoPro lenses.
How else do you clean them?
I do that. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
But I've only done it once when my quad was armed. What an idiot.
Okay, Tony, for you, being vegan, there may be bug splats on there, so technically it's not a vegan thing to do.
No,
right?
I don't kill bugs. I dodge every bug.
At the mini air show, I did see one of the cameras. Okay, it wasn't the GoPro camera, but it landed next to some turd.
That would be Matt, then.
Have you guys not actually thought... I mean, a spit and polish is one thing, but licking?
I always lick my lens, clean it up.
We have a lick system for a reason.
We need to start...
And then clean it with your sleeve. Who licks their lens? Hands in the air.
Yeah, own up, people. In the chat room, if you're in the chat room...
In the chat, do you lick your lens, not your GoPro lens? I lick my FPV camera lens because it's got a GoPro lens on it.
Sloth does say that he licks both the FPV one and the camera one.
So I do mine slightly different.
Striker does. It seems like it's the in thing to do then.
Lens licker.
I lick all the lenses. Does anyone lick out the dirt from any other parts of their quads, by the way, whilst we're at it? Because it seems that everyone...
Don't go that far, Jay. Just lick my lens and that's it.
Actually, you know what? After the last Sunday, before I crashed it and I had to go home because it was broken, I had like that freshly cut grass smell. My quad smelled the best I've ever smelled before in its life. It was just...
Oh, I love that smell. Fresh cut grass.
I know.
In the summer. Yeah.
Well, imagine that on a quad. So as it whiffs past, you get this nice little trail of smell. Freshly cut grass smell.
What's he doing now? The camera?
I'm doing the camera the best I can. So I'm going to go around the edges, try to deal with components without touching the lens or the sensor.
So Green Patches is sensible. I'm with you, Green Patches. He only he brings stuff to clean his lens with.
Yeah, I do. My bloody tongue. It's always there. It's always ready, and it's always wet.
Okay. I can imagine. I understand you spitting on your lens to get some moisture and then wiping it with your sleeve or your top or anything like that. I understand that. But Zero, I'm not sure. Is that never would lick your lens or never would lick your quad clean?
It's always the point when someone looks over and there's some weirdo geek with his goggles on his head licking his quads in the middle of the field. It's fucking me.
Exactly. You know, there's easier ways to make sure people don't come over and ask questions, like Tom Smith has once said, and hold your blanket with a stick. That just gives people the same impression. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to start saying people are window lickers. The window to the camera lens, they're window licking.
Lens licker.
I hereby denote that anyone that licks their GoPro lens is hereby a window licker.
Oh dear.
Lens licker.
Each to their own. I wanted to know how many people actually did it. So it sounds like quite a lot. So
just to know when putting a conformal coating on, you have to be careful not to get on the buttons and anything that you press, because otherwise it will not work afterwards. But
is there a way to clean it off if it is actually on there then, Clinton? If you make a mistake and you get it all over, you spill it on the kitchen table, whatever, I don't know, can you remove it easily? Is it acetone? Acetate?
I have no idea. I know you can solder through it. I've done that a few times and it works really well. So you can solder through it really, really easily. But as for getting it completely off, I wouldn't want to attempt it. I think it would be a mission. But yeah, there we go. Last little bit. And that is it. The whole quad is conformal coated.
Right. So can we test this tomorrow?
It's rush mode, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I can do if you want me to. I will pull out the. So now I've got to try to put this down so it doesn't. I have to hang it somewhere, I think.
All right. The next week's show is Let's Lick Lenses. Yeah.
I was going to say let's lick out, but yeah, that's
going too far now.
too far, maybe. There we go. So that's hanging up, and now we just got to wait for it to dry.
Okay. Now, have you got a GoPro nearby, Clinton?
I do.
Okay, grab it.
No.
Right, go and get your spud.
Come on, look, we're gonna do it live. Right now, lick the lens. Come on, part of your initiation. Come on, do it. Besides, we can't see your face.
I'll put it towards the camera, and you lick your screen. There we go.
No.
Here we go. Here we go.
That looks pretty grim, actually. That one. I mean, what's the borderline? Does anyone lick it regardless of anything on there, or what?
It's spotless. So I always just get my shirt and give it a good wipe. There you go.
Has anyone licked a copy of Breath of the Wild for the Switch? Don't. Oh, this chat room is amazing. If you actually listen to this live and you didn't tune into the live, like on a podcast or anything, you missed out for the chat room on the live YouTube things. We have many wonderful people in there chatting away and just making.
Hell. Zero licks his soldering iron to see if it's hot, the nutter.
Yeah, but that's quick and that's like, isn't it? That's not as bad.
350 degrees.
Come on, Clinton, we have requests for you to lick the GoPro. Make sure we can see your face. Come on, you can do it.
I'm waiting for the donation office to come in first.
The donation office. Okay, I'll be your friend forever.
You won't be my friend forever anyway. No, I'm insulted now.
Oh, not unless you lick the lens.
Here we go. I don't know if can you see the shiny surface? You can. So what I'm going to do?
Can see that.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to tip water on it.
Okay. And then you're going to lick the lens.
Second.
Oh God, this could go horribly wrong.
Make sure you power it on first. Power it on.
You want me to power it on first?
Props off.
Before you put water on it. I mean, otherwise we don't know. It could be staged.
Okie dokie, I'll take the props off.
GX210 those.
This is a QX210.
That's for waiting.
Sorry?
Oh, Captain America PJ.
Question for you, Tony.
He's getting ready for tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's that?
With your bombs.
Captain America PJs.
My Captain America PJs. I think they're actually Julie's. So, question, Tony. How do you get your motors off? Like, because it's so hard on the FSG X210 to hold the motor while you're trying to undo the bolt.
My mate GFPV prints a holder, like a little thing what slides in under the prop. And what motors are you running?
The RS2205S.
Oh, the Emax, yeah. You can buy them off GFPV. I think he sells them on eBay, but he made and printed a little thing that you can just slide under the prop, hold it, and then you just take the props off. I'll get you one. I'll ask him to sort you one out.
I was just about to say if someone sources me one of those, I'll lick the GoPro lens. But nah, Tony's already said he'll do it now. So
no.
You've got to lick it next week then.
No. You will provide him with the things next week if he licks it this week. Besides, otherwise, Jules wants her PJs back.
She wants her PJs back.
Yeah, she's only.
Right.
On air, she wants them back now.
No, Tony. There's a limit.
The old chat's well funny tonight, isn't it?
Oh, it is. We've got 5 minutes left, by the way, Clinton. Please get your GoPro ready. That would be a perfect way to end the show. And you'll go down.
I'm just the most memorable light quad. Isn't that good enough?
No, we want it all. Everything. Come on.
Everything. So here we go. I'm going to power the quad on.
We can't see it though.
Give me a second.
When you pour water on, please put it down. Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
I'm scared.
It looks like it's literally.
Sorry.
Don't do it.
Don't worry. We're not obsessed with licking. We just asked a poll as to who licks their lenses, and it got a little out of hand.
So straight onto the flight controller. You ready? A syringe of water. All
I
around
can't watch.
All around the chips.
It's actually doing it. Wow, it's...
Stop talking, Tony, so we can see. In fact, I'll see if I can pop it onto his.
Yeah, so all the water's blobbled all over the top.
Wow.
Hard to see because of the lights, but that is
crazy, man.
Completely covered in water. And yeah, time for the ultimate test.
Bravo.
Well done.
Let's see if we can arm it.
With water on it. Go on, boy.
No.
I haven't started yet.
Oh.
I've got to try to remember what button it is.
Excellent.
I don't know what button it is.
This isn't going well, is it?
The question is, A, which model is it? That one? I might have killed it. Well, it's not arming, but it's probably something else. But yeah, it's covered in water.
But it's still lit up, so I think it's probably fine.
I know it's fine. I think I don't think I've got it set up. Which probably
Well, to be honest, I mean the lights do tell us more about whether it worked or not.
I don't
No,
know.
we all.
I've got the wrong button. Oh, there you go.
Hey,
No problem.
bravo!
As it should be. So yeah,
Well done.
Yeah.
I sit on the wrong
No,
model.
I don't think we've done that.
Sorry?
I'm impressed.
That's a good enough initiation test, but if
And
you
then-
do want to go pro live, I know that'd be funny.
All you got to do is dry it off.
Tony, I think that's how we should finish it. Let's ask the channel anyway in the chat room. Who wants to see Quinton intimate with his his
You're being
GoPro?
mean.
Well done, Clint.
What?
That was quite. I was impressed with that.
Yeah, I am actually. I am tempted to do it myself. At least even on the underside of the PDBs, where it's like it's come out to wet grass and you know cause all sorts of problems.
It just,
Yeah, across the exposed ESCs, soldering bits would be good.
Yeah, or the contact XT60 and things like that. It's a worthy investment. But how much would your conformal coating?
$6.99 for a bottle,
Ah,
which is this size. This
and
is
that should last quite a few quads. Yeah.
So this has done 2 quads so far. It's done an X5 and the FSG X210, all the speed controllers, VTXs, cameras, and everything. And it's just done the QX95 as well, and barely touched the bottle.
If we get 3 people doing it, will you do it, Quinton? Well, we've already got 1 person saying please do it. Just to finish the show, we've only got a minute left. Come on, grab it. This is how you lick it. This is how you clean a lens.
I don't know, let's see if I've got any charge in the camera. Oh yeah.
Record it.
Ah,
Poor
2.
bloke. I've
may
nothing
not
to do with this. Please still pick me up tomorrow morning.
you're not fighting for me, Tony. You're not fighting for me.
But you are going to get a free thing so you can undo your props on your.
It's the lens licking show. Look, I'll lick my lens on here. Look. Taste of ESC.
If I do it, then Jay, you're gonna do yours as well.
Well, I haven't got mine nearby, but I will. I can run and get it. Oh, damn it! I'm gonna have to. Okay, give me 1 minute. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves. So, Tony, now Jay's gone.
Yes. Let's chat about Jay.
So, what was the
I've seen
initiation
him
process for
looking
you
in.
guys then?
What's that?
What was the initiation process for you, or is it just me? that's got
I
all
had
this
none
going?
because we started this.
So unfair. So unfair.
I'm sorry, man. You've done it now. It's all finished. It's all good. You're in. You're part of the crew. Look, I lick my lenses out in the blooming middle of the field like an idiot. Don't worry about it.
See, I sort of just give him a good wipe on the t-shirt, so I'm quite happy with that. But, yeah. So you
Yeah.
about performance coating your quad? Something you've got to consider now?
I might do the same as you. Might do my FX GX because it's pretty good waterproofing in it anyway. All the ESCs are in the back, and once it's all together, it's pretty waterproof. And I've seen I think it's Gigawatts who's in the chat. So he's got one, and he hot glued right down in the channel where the wires go on the FXGX to make it more waterproof. So yeah, we could conformal coat it and then glue it. Yeah, have you done it as well?
Yeah, well, I live very, very close to Gigawatts. We fly together most days. So yeah, I got the idea from him. Fill the channels up.
Yeah, I'm gonna think it as well.
Yeah, the idea is that all of a sudden you've got an indestructible waterproof quad that you can fly anywhere and do whatever you want.
And if it does rain, you could sit in your van or car and fly it in the rain.
The only issue we've got to try to solve, I've got to get some Rain-X to give it a go, is the camera lenses. But I think we can solve that problem.
Rain-X will work.
Yeah, I need to get some
The faster you go, the cleaner it'll be.
In fact, I do have some Rain-X, so I'm going to try and do that this weekend. But it's looking like fine weather all weekend.
Ah, awesome. Yeah.
Well,
we'll be stuck indoors, won't we, Tony?
Well, no, go ahead, eh?
We have GoPro.
Give it a good clean.
Ah, there you go. First time and last time ever.
Is that the GoPro that you had while we were at Hidden Valley that time? That Matt was.
No, this is a replacement actually. It's a replacement one.
Is that the Cowpat one? Is that the Cowpat one, Jay?
No. It was actually it wasn't myself that had the Cowpat problem. It was Clegger, and shout out to Clegger. I said I'll give you one. It's Clegger that had the Cowpat problem. Yeah.
It was quite spectacular actually, because it turned out it was just a little nugget, but it looked ginormous in his FPV feed. It took the whole camera, and it was perfect.
That's funny, man.
It was amazing. So yeah.
Indeed. Wow. Are we going to continue on, or should we call this a night? Because we've had enough looking of lenses, we've had enough conformal coating, and if people want more, I'm happy to go on. If people don't, we'll call it a night. I need to
eat and drink some more wine.
Get ready for tomorrow morning.
And yeah, I've got some charging to do. I'll make sure you charge your Fact Sharp and your Tranus and stuff.
I'm going to bring some chargers with me, but yeah, no, I will definitely do that.
Well, guys, I hope you have a lot of fun at Comic-Con, and I expect to see that live stream tomorrow, Tony.
1 p.m. tomorrow.
Every day, 1 p.m. every day. So if people miss it tomorrow because they're too busy working, and Saturday and Sunday.
I'm not there Sunday, but I will. If I do go Saturday, I will live stream at 1 p.m. again. So yeah, tune in the Tone Star 1 YouTube channel. Press the little bell.
I do think that there is a plan to get anyone that's got really cool costumes into the cage to fly around them. So footage of that.
Is there actually?
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. So I've got my
plans.
I'm ready and raring to go.
Oh wow! Where's Clint gone? It's weird.
I've got the axe and everything, so yeah, I'm prepped and ready.
That is awesome.
Are you dressing
Carlos
up,
should be quite interesting to see.
I'm dressing as me.
You're dressing?
No, I'm not. I'm not dressing up. I don't do that. I think it's a bit weird.
More to the point, though, Clinton is going to go in Jules's PJs as well.
Yeah, I might do. They're very comfortable, to be fair. Yeah, I am sitting at home.
I'm in my jogging bottoms, mate. Don't worry about it.
I didn't think I'd be getting up so often, you know. So I thought the camera would be staying at this level. But lessons learned.
Well, our live stream has gone. We are still live, but I've got lost control.
Still live.
I think we call it a night because you guys need to get some sleep before tomorrow, and otherwise, where's my power? Otherwise, we won't have any show next week, will we?
Yeah. So next week we can check out the conformal coating on the QX95 and see how waterproof it actually is.
Yeah, you're actually going to do that because actually the interesting test for the brushed motors as opposed to brushless would be a good thing.
It would be good. It would be good. I am genuinely curious to whether they'll survive it.
You've been listening to the now part of the crew and fully initiated Ectraz, aka Clinton, Captain Conforming, aka Steve in his girlfriend's or wife's PJs. You've been listening to also Tony, the man who has always entertained us and is a pleasure to have on with us every week, and myself, Jay.
Peace.
aka Chico. Thanks for a fun show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. And don't forget to leave a comment in the below if you liked it. We won't do any more licking, we promise.
And a shout out to our Patreons, Fossil Stuff, and all the guys. Thank you very much. You know who you are.
And if you are an editor, or if you know any editors, we would love to get our podcast back up to speed. So get in touch, drop us an email, speak to us next week or something like that. And like I said, there may be some monetary return for it. Yeah. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. In fact, I have to just... we can't finish...
tomorrow, Wally Brain, about 8:30.
Don't listen to him. It's just not my name.
I try.
Everybody's been...
All the best, everyone.
See you later, guys. See you
Peace
next week.
out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We can't stop the show. It's broken. We're still live.
Bye.
You know what?
Bye.
Laura that wanted us on a 24-hour slot and everything. We can't stop it.
I think it's
He's got a blow, Captain. He's got a blow.
We're stuck here now.
Pull it, Jay. Pull the plug out of the actual wall.
I can't. But I will. I have to go into the back end and actually pull out the wiring. You see, this is it. The conformal coating has actually affected it all.
It's affected me.
It has.
That stuff is potent.
What, did you lick it?
No, but I can smell it. It's very, very, very potent.
Striker's off to lick some windows. Bye. Great show, chat. Thanks, guys. I'm off to lick some windows.
We're all officially window lickers now. That's the trouble.
Official.
Peace out. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. Later.